Hi, um, welcome to the part 3 of Unit 4. Um, we're going to learn here the document object model 2. Basically, here in this case, we are going to learn about the events. We already have learned about the events, have handled the events. What document object model does is it provides certain interface. Using that interface, we can handle the events. Now, the main module which falls under the document object model 2 is the event module. Under the event, it's HTML event and mouse event. So as you can make out, this is used for handling the HTML events and the mouse events. Now this table suggests which are the events which can happen as far as the HTML events are concerned. So the module here is the HTML event. The interface is the event interface, and then these are the events. When a particular HTML file execution is aborted, and when a particular control is blurred, some position or the situation of the control changes, there is error in a particular file, a focus on a particular control changes, when a particular HTML file is loaded or reset or resized or scrolled through, or a particular control is selected, when the submit button is clicked, when the form is unloaded. Now, in such cases, what happens is whenever these events occur, the respective event is caught by this particular HTML event interface, that is event interface, and then those come under the HTML event module. Similarly, for mouse events, the routine ones: click, mouse down, mouse move, mouse out, mouse over, mouse up. Now, the interface here is mouse event, and the submodule is the mouse event submodule. So the neat thing to understand here is when these kinds of events occur, then these two interfaces come into picture. So when these events occur, these two interfaces automatically get catch hold of the event, and then we can associate some of the functions with those events, and then those functions can automatically get executed, implicitly get executed when these events occur. For example, if I can give an example here, uh, I can have a function, display function, which is associated with the mouse event. So whenever click happens, now the display function will be called. In addition to the events, we have got a navigator object. Now, navigator object performs many tasks. One of the main tasks of navigator object is that we can know the browser version and name of the browser. Now, here we use the navigator object, and then the property name is app name. Uh, Let us check out how this can be used. Very simple example. Uh, we have included the file name, HTML file name is navigator.html. We have included a JavaScript. Name of the JavaScript is navigate.js. And then there is a function called as nav properties inside the navigate.js. Now, this is navigate.js JavaScript file. The function nav properties. When this HTML file is loaded, on load, the nav properties function is called. Inside the nav properties function, we are calling alert. The browser is navigator.app name. So this is the object, navigator object.app name. So the version number also can be obtained, navigator.app version. So this will display the browser on which the program is being run and also the version of the browser. Okay, the document object model comes up with two kinds of activities or two kinds of say functions, that is tree traversal and modification. Uh, since the document object model or any HTML file can be represented as a tree, now we need two things as far as tree is concerned. One is tree traversal, the other one is modification of a particular tree. Element is the object that we use to traverse and modify a document object model tree structure. Every element in document model is associated with the element object. So how do we traverse? Now we have got these properties: parent node, previous sibling, next sibling, first child, and then last child. So how do we use this? Element dot parent node, element dot previous sibling, element dot next sibling, element dot first child, and element dot last child. So what is the use of this? It gives us um, the parent node, the previous node of the current node, the next node of the current node, first child of the existing or the current node, and then the last child of the current node. So in this way, we can traverse. The points to remember here are the element object and then these properties. So how do we traverse? We have seen how to traverse a tree. How do we modify a particular tree? Now we have got three methods for this. In the previous case, we have the attributes which are to be used with the element object. Here in this case, we have methods which can be used with the element object. So element dot insert before new child reference child. So a new child will be inserted before the reference child. Similarly, we have got a replace child method. A new child will be replaced in place of the reference child. So here it will be before the reference child, it will be in place of the reference child. Similarly, there is one more function which is called as the remove child. Of using this function or a method, we can remove the child which is specified as parameter. Now, all these methods are to be used with reference to the element object. Uh, what do you mean by a dynamic HTML? Dynamic HTML document, the document which can be dynamically changed. It's a simple definition. Now, we all have gone through, we have all studied uh, what is a tag attribute of the HTML, what is a tag content of HTML, excuse me, what is the element style properties of a HTML. Now, we already have worked with this. Now, all these can be changed in the document when the document is being displayed on a browser. Now, how do we change it? Using some scripts like JavaScript. Now, which are the tasks that can be changed? Now, these are the tasks: absolute positioning, relative positioning, moving elements. These three deal with how the elements are positioned. Then we can check the element visibility, change the colors and fonts of the display. Dynamically, the content can be changed, how the elements can be stacked one above the other, locating the mouse cursor, reacting to a mouse click, slow movement of the elements, dragging and dropping of the elements. Now we'll have in the next part, I'll give you a demo of all these positioning elements.